Yes, yes, we got my guy today, very special guest, Rhys Diley. I call him Rhys the Beast Diley. Young up and coming basketball player, very exciting young player, very humble young man. He's been training with me since the age of 9. So he's materialized and turned out to be a dynamite young up and coming player. Rhys, talk to the fans. Tell them who you are, where you come from, and why you love basketball. So on you, talk to him, young fella.
Yeah, so I'm Rhys Diley. I'm 14 and I go to Country Day now. It's been a great experience over there and I'm enjoying it and been working with you a long time, uh, learning some of the moves over there and yeah, just working on my game.
And look, man, I've been trying to get him to consider Country Day for many years. He lived right around the corner, so it's like walking distance. Where you ride your bike there or something?
You can ride my bike there, yes, sir.
That's always easy. Convenience. Listen, I tell people all the time, um, environment, right? Environment is very important to grow in. You got to be in the right environment to grow. And that's very important. I've always said that to you. It doesn't matter where you at. Just make sure you're getting better, smarter. Because in life, doesn't matter where you come from, your background, none of that matters. Are you going in the right direction, right? And we always want to make sure we're going in the right direction. So now you're an eighth grader playing on a varsity level. I mean, you had a dynamite first game against a really good school. I mean, what is the difference between playing at this level, man? What's the biggest difference so far, or
Yeah,
adjustment?
it feels I'm super excited about it playing as an eighth grader. The major adjustment, I'd probably say, there's a lot more physical kids over there, and the speed of the game is very fast. But it provides me an opportunity to grow and develop as well.
So now in that first game y'all played, I want to say your first game. It's kind of like your first game, really. How many preseason games have you played? You played well at Shaw. I thought that was the first sign that you could play and be. You're not just only playing; you're actually a starter as an eighth grader. Let's clap for that. Clap for that. That's not easy to do. To be a starter as an eighth grader, that's a lot of players' dreams. To start on eighth grade and play varsity in the eighth grade. But I think that first game at Shaw, you showed you had promise. You showed that you could handle that level. I mean, what do you think about that first game you played at Shaw? How you feel about that first game you played? I think you had about 13 points for eighth grader,
Yeah,
and you came off the
yeah.
bench. You didn't start that game, did you?
No, I didn't start for Shaw, and then the next game I came out and started the next game.
Against Saint Aug, huh?
Hmm.
Yeah. I noticed that your defense you're able to play defense at that level. I think that was really more the most impressive thing. I know you could probably score on most levels, right? But I was more impressed with the fact that you was able to shut guys. I'm gonna say shut down, but cause a little havoc with some of these guards. Some of these
Yeah,
guards you was able to
coach.
guard some really talented players. So I was happy to see that you was able to do that. How does it feel playing for Coach Mike?
Yeah, Coach Mike's a great coach. I've learned a lot from him over the past 3 months I've been with him. Um, and he's just a great coach, and he's good to be around. And I feel like I'm gonna develop a lot with him.
Oh, listen, he will prepare you for the next level. No question about it. Because what happens, I seen Mike do magic with guys that are less talented and maybe two or three solid guys and win state championships. Me and Mike been together, I would say over close to 20 years of just our relationship, our friendship, um, just comparing notes, finding out what it would take, you know, to win those state championships. At one point, we won 4 state championships in 6 years, which is very impressive. When you think about some of the talent that's in Louisiana. So playing for Coach Mike, I think it's going to be a great, great asset to you, just because it's just going to help you learn how to play the game and play on the floor and move at a certain level. You know what I mean? So let me ask you a question. What you think sets you apart from most of these young players today? What do you think that is?
Yeah. You know, I can do the basics, like shoot and drive and a lot of stuff, but I think what sets me apart is my effort. I feel like I just every time I'm out there, I'm giving effort 100%, all the time, whether that's on defense or offense, I'm making sure that I'm diving on the floor, getting rebounds, playing good defense, and bring intensity.
Let me tell you something. So I talked to Coach Mike, and I said, Coach, man, the way he looked at the Shaw game, it looked like you could start him. And then he said, I don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger on him. Say, Coach, man, listen, there's nothing like understanding what the battlefield looked like early. So, like you say, fate would have it. Somebody got injured, one of our good players, and you stepped right into the role and actually stepped into the role and did an awesome job. And Coach Mike was telling me how intense you are in practice. I said, yeah. He said, no, this kid is all attitude and effort. And I told him, I've taught you that when you was a young guy. Listen, we don't need to know your name. We don't care who you are, but we're going to know if you have the right attitude and the right effort. Coaches are always going to judge you because, see, when you're playing in any kind of vocation, dealing with any kind of growth and development, most people want to see if you have that passion. Are you going in with that drive? Coaches don't need to know who you are. They know the guys that's coming to give 100%. And now you got to find out what your 100% looks like. And that's why I was just doing some training today, and guys just throwing lazy passes. I said, no, brother, this is your habits. You make sure you make an effort on the pass. Make sure every time you're giving your best. So let me ask you this. But having early success, how do you plan on continuing that zest, that greed, that hunger? How do you keep that alive? How do you keep that alive and not get, I wouldn't say big headed because that's not where you come from. But how do you keep finding that hunger? Because that's what it is. Like you're gonna have some success, and I want to know what it's gonna take for you to keep. Because you're only an eighth grader, you got a long ride. I mean, you're talking about in the next 4 years, 5 years, you'll be picking a college. So what's gonna keep that drive? What's gonna keep it there?
Yeah, it's just the motivation, the want to have the effort and intensity at practice. Like you could be having an off day at practice, but you just bring that effort and you just try to beat everybody out there and just be the first in sprints, like just do something good at practice to where you show that you're bringing effort and you want to be out there. And then same with games, bringing defense. Defense is important, and if you're just bringing effort on defense, not scoring on offense, you're contributing to the team. So I think that's what's important, and that's the hunger that's gonna keep me.
And you got to be purpose driven, right? I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Your goal is to play college basketball. Am I
Mhm.
right? Right?
Yeah,
Is that your goal? To play
for
college
sure.
basketball at the highest level, right?
The
So
highest level I can.
that's it. So that's going to take what? High level energy, right? So now, as an eighth grader, you're building that energy now. So by the time you're a senior, you'll be able to control that energy at the highest level. They had a way of describing a Michael Jordan. He has like a high aggressive control, even though he's very aggressive, but he's under total control. So you'll be able to manage that as time goes. You feel me? So let me ask you this: with your wildest dreams, and if you had to pick your top 5 colleges that you would love to play for, what would they be, and in what order? And let's start from number 1 to 5. If you could play at a Division 1 level, because to me, playing college basketball on any level, getting a scholarship is something special. Why? Because I'm giving you some numbers, give or take. Say like 2 million kids play high school basketball. This is a give or take number. 5,000 get a scholarship. So that means 1.995 would not have a scholarship their senior year. So if you're lucky to be in that 5,000, you're a special person. You get what I'm saying to you? So that's why it's going to take high energy. And then I was just sitting there with the LSU coach about a month ago, and they said they want to make sure they get returns on their investment. So now I don't know if you know what that means, but what do you think that means? And then give me your top 5 colleges. When they say coaches say they want to get a return on their investment, what do that mean to you? If not, I can help you with that. when they say he want to get a return on their investment when it comes to taking these college players? What do you think that means?
Yeah, so they offer, I feel like it's when they offer you, and then you still bring that intensity at um the highest level you can, and show it in practices when you get to that college level.
Right.
Um
Like it's right. Because so let's say LSU, every college is just a certain amount of money. So like say if you went to Loyola, don't matter. Loyola about $40,000 a semester. I mean, a year. I mean, not a semester, but for the year. So you're talking times 4, right? So you're talking a lot of money, right?
mm,
So when you walk out of there, you're walking out of there with an education almost like $160,000. You get what I'm saying? So now, are you worth that investment? Are you going to do all the things you're supposed to do in a classroom? Are you going to be respectful to your coaches? Are you going to be respectful to even the person you're dating? Are you going to be respectful to the guy that you go to the local store and get pizza from? Are you going to carry yourself like you're worth that investment? Right? Because, like they say, you should treat everybody the same, from the janitor to the CEO to the president of the company. Right? So that's why they want to make sure they get a return on their investment, because they want to have quality people come out of LSU or North Carolina, and what you're worth that investment, right? So you want to do it. So
right.
let's get it out the way. Your top 5 schools that you would love to play for, if like you say, if all the stars line up and then God plans for you, what would you love to be? What's the first? Good. Tell me your top 5.
Yeah, so I think number one would obviously be LSU right now. In state, it's a great school. So I think that would be number one. Number two, I'd probably go with North Carolina.
It's a big
Um,
school.
the big school. I think that's a dream of mine to go play there. I think number three, it'd be Oregon. I love
Nice,
Oregon. Seems like a
nice.
great environment. Number four, Ole Miss. I think,
Wow. All right, all those are very possible. Right, home, not ain't too far from home either. Go ahead.
yeah.
And
And
number
then I
5.
probably number five, probably say,
Oh, well, I think we had 3, right? What's that?
was
LSU,
that?
North
No, we have
Carolina. Oh, that's right. We had
five.
4. We had 4. I'm sorry. You did. Oh, yeah. I'm like, we had 5.
Yeah, so number five, I'd probably go with Georgia. I think
Wow. Wow. You all
I'm
SC.
liking Georgia
Wow.
right now. So yeah.
Don't say that too much, huh? So there. I'm just joking with you. No, but those are all great schools. And
hmm
only one school a little far from home, because you remember, you still look like at the end of the day, you still somebody's son. So the parents always want you to be a little closer to home. You know how that goes.
Right.
So, but at least we know your top schools are not too far, not too far. So let me ask you this: now, what basketball player inspires you? On what level? NBA, college, or any of that? Who's your favorite player?
Well, I would say my favorite player would
Or if
probably
it's a
be
few,
Kobe.
if it's a few players, yeah, Kobe. Okay,
Right, yeah. I just say Kobe because of his mentality. I think that
Mamba mentality.
yeah, I think that like proves a lot, like the effort he brings, and like that's what I'm like based around effort and bringing effort. But also I feel like another person that just inspires me is my dad, because
Woo!
I always see him bringing a lot of effort and what he does as his job, and I just want to be like that and bring the intensity he has. And yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you this, and I know your dad personally, man. He seemed like he's never rattled, man. He's like you, man. Sometimes I'll be wondering to know if you in it sometimes, but you're always in it, because when like you say, when the ball goes up, you ready. But you definitely develop that like it's like you're stoic, right? Like you're always like 75 degrees, and coaches love that. Guys that don't get rattled, don't get too out of control, always in control. Like I say, I've talked with Marines, um, Navy SEAL guys, different guys in that are dealing in high intense. They say the person that calms down first always will have the edge, no matter what the environment is. So I know that one thing about you for sure. You always have a nice control way of dealing with things. And I think that's very impressive. That's why I think you was able to play varsity because you're not rattled by what the moment. You know, you're allowing yourself to actually experience it, right? Things is gonna happen, good things and bad, but what do you focus on, right? What do you bring to the table more that allows you to what? Feel confident, right? And that's what matters, right? So let me ask you this: what is now? Because when you go to college, you also got to have a major, right? You can't just walk around and just, you know, because when the ball stop bouncing, you want to be able to contribute to society as well as, do what I do, coach, teach, and continue to build young men on a high level. So once you get to school, what would your major be?
So that's a tough question, Coach.
It's
I
kind of
haven't
early
really
for eighth
thought about
grader.
that.
That's a tough question for eighth grader. Definitely,
Hmm.
definitely, definitely.
Um,
Well, good, good. Let's see you try to answer that.
man, I don't. It's a hard question, Coach.
Like in so many words, your working life, right? What do you like doing outside of basketball? Maybe that might be an easier question for an eighth
All
grade kid.
right.
We know because you like
I think. I
majors. Oh,
mean.
what's
I
your
mean, like.
passion outside of basketball?
I think a doctor would be cool, or like a pilot or something, like a ship pilot,
Oh, you're
you
talking some
know.
aviation. Okay,
So yeah, maybe that.
that's big. Yo, listen, that's big dreams. That's what you got to dream, right? You got to dream big, right, and go for it. Definitely, definitely. I'm glad to hear that. So now I'm gonna ask you one more question. So now you're going to play a big game this week in the Jesuit tournament, right? And how do you feel about going into that, planning that, and planning the Jesuit tournament? Is it tournament? They call it a tournament or the what they call it? The Jesuit tournament, right? That's what
Yeah,
they call
Jesuit Invitational.
it. Invitation. Right. So how do you feel about going and planning that? Because you got a few friends that went to that school, a few guys that you know, a lot of coaches that you know. You got a lot of friends that went to the same middle school you went to, and all of those things. So how do you feel about planning that?
Yeah, I feel like it's just another opportunity to kind of show who I can be and just, play to the best I can. Like, I feel like there's no really pressure to do good or anything in the tournament. Just play basketball, and it's the environment I was in last year, and I feel like it it's gonna be a hostile environment, and it's just how it's gonna be, and I think I just gotta play basketball at the end of the day and just hope we win.
And help your team win. I mean, what it really comes down to is really what? Playing every play, having a short mentality about whatever happens, and play to the
Hmm.
next play, right? Because you're gonna have
Exactly.
this, you're gonna have that. It's your relationship with your team, relationship with the rim, your relationship with all of those things, and playing through everything. You know. So for me, I just think that um that's what it's about. You're gonna playing at school for a bunch of years, because they're always on the schedule, right? And so there's a great opportunity for you just to be able to play in it because once you pick a college, it's gonna be like going in all of these places all over again, right? Because if you go
Right.
to Georgia or LSU or whatever, you walk in there, Georgia, they waiting on you. Alabama for sure. You feel me? If you play in that
Hmm.
SEC. So my thing
For
is
sure.
being able to deal with that, and it's good for you to learn that as an eighth grader right now, and actually deal with it. So let's talk to you about your family life, man. Let's talk about family life a little bit, man. Give me a little something about family life. You got a sister that's super tall as well. Give us a little bit about your background and family life, and what you enjoy about your family.
Yeah, so I enjoy being around my family. They're awesome. They're great to be around. My mom's super tall, my dad's super tall, so they're giving me the good genes. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, my sister's awesome. She's doing really good in volleyball right now, so I hope she gets to where she wants to be. Um, Picking up high school right now, so
That's
maybe
gonna be
it'll be
tough.
country day. So we never
Yeah.
know. But
And they look, and they volleyball program they win on. I think I don't look. They might have. I don't know how many years they won. They won every year. They won last year. So, I mean, we won't catch them. I think basketball is
Mhm.
a little more tougher. A little more, competition. I'm not gonna say competition, but you know what I mean. It's just a little tougher to deal
Mhm.
with basketball. But they got an unbelievable volleyball program over there, and I'm pretty sure they've been knowing her for many years. So Elle will be perfect in that environment as well. She'll be close to you, and once again, she'll be close to home, which is not too far. So let's talk about our
Mhm.
other coaches, man. The other coaches that you have. Let's talk about the other coaches, the assistant coaches, and let's talk about our teammates. How do you feel about your teammates and things of that nature?
Yeah, my whole team, all my coaches, like they've been great to me so far. Like from the day I got there, always helping me out with learning the plays and understanding where I need to be on the court. And they just push me every single day at practice, and they're just gonna help me develop in the long run, when I want to get to that college level.
What about your teammates? What about your teammates? How you feel about playing with some of these new guys? Because this is a new school. And was the school real welcoming? Did they welcome you a lot? How do you feel when you got to the school? How was the feeling going
Yeah,
to the school?
the 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 second I got there, everybody introduced themselves. Like the community at that school is awesome. Um, it's been great. Um, the teammates, like right when I got to practice, they're helping me out already. Like I don't even know their names and they're helping me out, and you know, I learned their names and they just been awesome to me. They've been fun.
I'm happy to see you so happy, man. To be honest with you, man. Let's talk about that trip to the Grand Canyon. Let's talk about that a little bit, and then we're gonna close out because this is Sunday night, and we both got to get ready because we know you got to get in
Yeah.
bed, you got to go to school. So this is Sunday night. So let's close out. Let's talk about your trip to the Grand Canyon. What did you learn, and what was so exciting about it? XYZ.
Yeah, so we got to get to the Grand Canyon. It was really a blast. We went canoeing down Black Canyon, which was very fun. Went camping out on the beach. It was awesome. And then after that, we went to the Grand Canyon and we got to walk around and see it and do a couple hikes. And it was very fun. Bonded with a lot of kids in my grade, and you know got to hang out with them. And I just learned there's more to life than just like anything. Like there's so much. There's so much there.
So much there. So look, man, I remember you told me about the trip. You was like so excited that you was going to the Grand Canyon. I remember that. You was like, "Yo, I'm going to the Grand Canyon." Like, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope." I've never
Yeah.
been, but I plan to go one day as well. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rhys Diley, young up and coming basketball player. He's at Country Day High School. He's playing varsity basketball, and I just want to say he's a great young man. He has a lot to offer, a lot of colleges, and I'm saying he's still young, still got a lot to learn. He's going to be a great player. And is any questions that you have for me? Anything?
I think that's it, Coach. I'm good.
I appreciate you. I love you, man. Like Sam said, you love Rhys. You remember that?
I
Remember that?
do.
I never forget that. So Sam Lewis, he's coming too, man. So look, man, I appreciate you, Rhys. Man, I love you and your family, man. Thank y'all guys for the opportunity. And look, man, we're gonna do an interview after the game, after the Judgment Invitational. We're gonna talk a little more. We're gonna start doing this a little bit of routing. We're gonna get more of your teammates in here, man. And I appreciate you, man. And a lot of success, man, and great travels, young fella. Thank you for the
Thank
interview.
you.
Go
Appreciate
you,
it, Coach.
go you, go me,
Go,
go
go
us.
us.
Yes, you know what it is. Thank you, man. Be safe, be well.
All right, Coach.